Hey everybody, another hot run here in New Jersey. 3 or 4 miles. Not going to talk about running tips in the heat or summer running or humidity or dew point. We've had a lot of that lately, but the goal that I always tell people anyway is, just to keep it slow and easy, which kind of what you do on most runs anyway throughout the year, but especially in the summer. Find sometimes that's hard though, is even if you give permission people to run easy, they don't always do so. Runners are competitive, so they'll take the definition of easy and they'll push the bounds. So I thought I wanted to talk about that a little bit. What's easy running? So an easy run, usually different definitions, but I'll cover all the ways that you can measure that. Easiest way is perceived effort. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a effort of like a 2 or a 3. An easy run, some people go by pace. You'll get pace calculators. Usually an easy run is anywhere from 30-45 seconds to up to 2 minutes over your marathon race pace, if you know what that is. But anyway, it's a run that's a lot slower than a pace that you would do in a race. Just getting in a slow run. Some people might even call it a jog. I know, God forbid. And then other people go by things like heart rate, if you want to start looking into things like that. If you know your maximum heart rate, easy run is somewhere in the ballpark of 60 to 75% of your max heart rate. Or some people even try to quantify that in zones. So that kind of heart rate zone would be somewhere in higher zone 1, but definitely within zone 2, and don't go into zone 3. But the hard thing about that is that zones are defined differently depending on where you look, so it's hard to compare apples to apples for people that are talking about it, and they use different training programs or they use different devices. So the zones that one person might use from their Garmin watch might be different than someone uses for their Apple Watch, might be different than what they use from Garmin Connect or Nike Run or Strava. They all define the zones differently, so it's hard to do. But if you go just by percentage of your max, that'll give you the zones. So with that defined, 60 to 75% of your heart rate max, perceived effort of 2 to 3, much slower than your marathon race pace, gives people the zone that they should be in for an easy run. The problem is a lot of people get that knowledge, they absorb it, they take it into their workout, they know that's what they're supposed to do, and as runners they get competitive and they just don't do that. They either push past the upper reaches of what an easier run is, or they really do take those numbers into heart and they just push to the upper bounds of them. So if it's a perceived effort of 2 or 3, they're running at a 3. If an easy run is 60 to 75% of their heart rate max, a lot of runners I know will run at exactly 75% of their max and say, hey, I ran at 75, but I didn't go over that, so I'm still in an easy zone. Or I'm still in zone 2. Or if your pace is minute to 2 minutes slower than your marathon race pace. So suppose a runner that's 9 to 10 minute mile, but they knew that, but they ran their easy run at a 9:01. Hey, but it wasn't an 8:59, so I'm still running my easy pace. But the problem with that is you're pushing it. You're always pushing to the bounds of between an easy run and something else, or to the gray area where you are no longer getting the benefit of an easy run because you're running too fast, but you're running slower than what a tempo run would be, so you're not getting the benefits of like a tempo run or a track workout kind of thing. You're in the middle area, you're in the gray zone. So it's best not to push into the upper reaches of those zones. A good rule or a good runner tip that I've always heard is the goal of any running workout or any kind of workout should be doing the least amount as possible to get the intended training benefits. So if you think about that, you're doing as least amount of work as you can to still get the same amount of benefits. So look at that in those zones. Perceived effort of a 2 or a 3. A lot of times running in a 2, you're getting the same benefits as running in a 3 effort. So why would you run with a 3 effort if you could run the 2 and it'll feel a lot easier and be easier on your body and it'll be a lot more fun? Same thing for something like race pace. say the person that was in the 9 to 10 zone for an easy run, but they ran a 9:01 to stay in the correct zone. But you know, a 9:30 would have felt a lot better with the same amount of benefits. You know, or a 10-minute mile would have felt even better with the same benefits. And I guarantee you, when you wake up the next day or go out for your next run, it's going to feel a lot better if you ran the 9:30 or the 10 pace over the 9 pace, but you got the same benefits. Or again, heart rate. You know, you could run at 75% and be still in zone 2, but you could also run at 75%, 70% of your max, or 65% of your max, or 60% of your max, or even go down to zone 1 and, you know, jog or take walking breaks or walk. And, you know, a lot of times it's the same benefits. So, you know, sometimes pushing it, as a lot of us do, isn't always the best way to do things, you know. Zones are named that way because there's 2 different data points that you go between, and you don't always have to push it to the upper point to, you know, prove that you're a good runner, or it looks better on Strava, or it looks a bit better on TikTok or Instagram. You know, something within the same zone, but an easier effort is, hey, it's easier, and it might be more fun, and you might want to do it a lot more. So give it a try. Slow down. Take care. Bye.